Welcome to Community Insight. I'm your host, Reverend Dr. Rodney Coles, bringing resource to our community, all around our community. And today we have a special guest here on our broadcast today. We have Miss Tina Brown. Miss Tina Brown, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you for having me, Pastor Cole.
Now, Miss Tina, could you explain the name of your ministry first and then give us the mission statement and what you do?
Sure. I am the Executive Director of Faith Community Outreach, which is in Robinsonville, North Carolina, which is Martin County. Our mission is a hunger relief program for residents of Martin County. We serve about 300 people a week,
Wow.
and we give out supplemental foods to those in need.
So yeah, so you're in Robinsonville, that's the Martin County area, and so you're doing about at least 300. So you're speaking about 1,200 families, at least 1,200 families a month. I mean, can't imagine the calculation how many people in the household, but wow. So now in that area there, is there any way that, like, how will somebody get in contact? Like, how they get in contact with you, and how would they know, like, when are the times of the pantry open?
Okay. We have a referral system that's at the DSS. Some of those clients are referred to us from them. We are also local in the local newspaper. So we are in churches. We are in the Robinsonville Community Center in Robinsonville. And we have our hours listed. Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays are regular distribution days.
Wow. Now, when you say you had a facility, the facility. What's the name of the facility you in? Is there an address to that facility?
Yes, we're located at the Community Center in Robinsonville, which was the old Robinsonville Housing Authority building.
Wow.
Right. And we're on 302 Grimes Street in Robinsonville.
Okay.
Our hours are Tuesdays and Thursdays are from 5 to 6 p.m. and Saturdays from 12 to 1.
Now, and I'm understanding that you're not just in the Robinson area. I mean, you also handles, is it Hamilton area there as well?
That is correct. We also serve the Hamilton area, which consists of Hamilton, Hassel, Hobgood, and Oak City. And that distribution day is on Wednesday mornings at 7 a.m. at the Morris Lynch building in Hamilton.
Well, let me ask this question, because I know that people probably were looking at this broadcast and they say, well, I'm hearing about this. I never knew about this food pantry over at this area here. Now that I'm hearing about it, and I'm hungry. I mean, my family is hungry, and I've been trying to find a place to get me a box of food. I mean, do you have to qualify, or could anyone just come show up to be a part of get me a box of food for my family?
Okay. Sure. I guess the only need you really have to have is that you're hungry. We don't turn anyone away. You can come from Edgecombe County, but my thing is just serving the folks that are in need. We will give you a box of food that will cover you from 1 or 2 days, and then if you're out of our jurisdiction, we will then forward you to a client or a facility that's closer to you.
Wow. And that's very important because, and I've been in that area, Robinsonville area, and it's a very raw area. I mean, you could buy a building. There was one guy selling a building for $39,000. I mean, my vehicle was more than that, and I'm saying, like, it's such a raw area, and people don't realize that people have a need and need food. In such an area like that. And I know that there's a program that's working along with the interfaith clergy. You have a program that if pastors and they want to be a part of helping, what is the name of that program that's taking place? I know it's coming up soon.
Yes. That program, which I labeled as Bridging the Gap of Martin County, unfortunately, Martin County has a 24% insecurity rate, which means that most of the people don't know if they're going to eat today, tomorrow. Most of our clients have to determine if they're going to eat or buy medication. So what I wanted to do was get our clergy involved. If we can get the clergy involved, they can talk to the congregation and find out what the needs are in that area, and then we can go and assist that area. So that meeting with the Bridging the Gap of Martin County is on Saturday, November 4th at 3 p.m.
Wow. I'm gonna say some things about that, and this for any of the pastors or ministries or organizations listening to this broadcast. You know, it's really us to kind of help our community. I think that we start to get things twisted. We start looking at, well, is it the mayor? Is it the city councilor? Is it the commissioner? Is it the Senate? Is it the president of the United States? I mean, what happened to the past? You know, and I know there's more churches around Robinsonville than they are restaurants.
That is true.
And even in Bethel and these other roads, there's the churches, and it's really good for us pastors. And I'm not trying to shame you or say anything bad about our pastors, but I think that we need to stop being a turtle and seeing problems and ducking our head in and saying, well, we know there's an issue that people are hungry and they need to eat. That we could kind of say, hey, let's be a part of helping these folks eat. I mean, I understand tithes and offering, and the building got to be paid for, and the rent as well as the lights. But there's also that. Where's that missionary money? I mean, missionary. I mean, we can put an offer in and saying, well, hey, we want to help in such an area, and see. That's where my heart is at. It says, I don't say, well, there's a need. It said, well, let me just take tithes and offering and all this other money. It said, what can we do to help the community? And how can we be a part? And I'm so glad that you're working on this, is bringing pastors together. And I'm asking you this question. Is this open for any pastor in the Robinsonville area? What about a little further in Martin County? Could I come to this meeting?
Yes, you can. Any pastor, community leader in Martin County can come to this meeting. We just want to bring the resources together. We want to help our community. Our community is suffering. They're hungry, and there are other needs besides food. And we just want to get everyone together. Let's just come to the table and talk about it.
Well, and that is something good. So one of the things we put in place here was called the interfaith clergy. And the interfaith clergy is really about us standing for our community. And I know that anything that we could be a part of, I definitely want to be a part of, some on the positive side, because it's going to take us clergies to say what is the problem. Do you know when someone get killed in the street, or whether a police killed or vice versa, the first thing they call is the clergies? They call us out to talk. And the reason is because we can control our community. So if we can control our community, the question is, why are we not feeding our community?
That's right.
Why are we not being more involved and saying, well, what can we do to help in our community? We have children that's going home because they hungry and they can't even get a good education because they don't have no food.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And so what I'm hearing is that if any pastors are looking at this broadcast today, and they said, well, listen, maybe, I'm not doing fully what God probably told me. We can help out. We can sit at this round table. Because my understanding, this round table will be about pastors, clergies, and even organizations say, what can we do together to build this gap? To come together at this meeting here. And this meeting is November the 4th. I think that we haven't got a location yet, but if we can get your phone number, I know there's a website that could get on, just to CUN2015.org in Robinsonville. They click on that and they will find out the schedule that when that's taking place. And I mean, it just really touched my heart, Ms. Brown, to really get really emotional with this here, because it's not like seeing somebody's hungry, family's hungry. And let me touch on this a little bit. You also got a senior citizen program you're working with as well. Could you explain about that senior citizen program?
Sure. The building that we're located in actually has a senior program. It's the Robinsonville Senior Program. And what we are doing is the seniors are there from Monday to Thursday. And what we do, we try to fill in that gap. That's the word, fill in the gap. We fill in the gap by giving each senior a box of food to take home on Thursday, because we don't know what their situations are. Some of those seniors don't have much food. Like I said, they spend a lot of money on medication. So we fill in that gap. We give them a box of food. They take it home, and then they come back on Monday. We didn't want to worry about seniors not eating over the weekend. That's just terrible. So that's how we fill in that gap there. We also give them extra food, bread, sweets, meat. Whatever the need is, we try to assist them as much as we can.
Wow. And so if there's senior citizens listening to this broadcast in Martin County, because I do know with Churches Outreach Network, we just recently done a senior citizen similar pay the same type of program, which we end up having 822 application, and a couple weeks ago we just gave out 700 boxes, and more boxes still being given out. So I'm a senior citizen. Listen to this broadcast. I got my mom, my grandma, or my mom. She's first. I'm asking, what is the qualification? I might be moving a little fast on that. What is the qualification?
Okay, you have to be 60 years or older. You have to be a resident of Martin County, and it is by your income. But if you call me, we can start the process, and then hopefully you will qualify for this program. And every month you will get a box of food.
Okay, so you got to be 60 years old. So I'm assume not a good word to use. You just need to ask for their ID, because some people could say they're senior citizen. They may look 60, they might be like cheap wine they drunk, but they're not 60. But they're 60 years old or older, so they have to meet the requirements of that in order to be a part of this program. So they got to do an application, and that's how they do it. Then they be able to get a box of food monthly.
Yes.
Am I correct?
That's correct.
All right. So all they have to do now, is there a time that you do an application? Like, is there a certain time and a certain date that you have set up, so as those who listen to this broadcast saying, well, listen, my mom's a senior citizen. She's 60 years old. She's not making a lot of income coming in. And I know my mom's or my dad may be qualified for this. I mean, who do we contact? How do we get the application? I heard it on a broadcast. How do they get in contact with you, or what do we need to do to get this application and get it signed?
Okay, you can call me, and I'll give you my number. My number is 252-377-3122. Or you can also come by the center, which is 302 Grimes Street, Community Center, and I'll have you come in the office and we'll fill out the application and go forward.
Okay. So they just can contact you, and the days that you're doing your distributing. I mean, some person probably saw the broadcast, and I don't know, maybe it's just me. It's like I'm trying to eat my lunch and nobody's around. As soon as I'm about to eat it, the phone ring. Or when I'm trying to find a pen, I can't seem to find one. I do find one, the ink doesn't write. So the address again, as well as the time of operation for those who finally got a pencil.
Okay. Tuesdays and Thursdays during the week from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays from 12 to 1. And you can call me at 252-377-3122. And our address is 302 North Grimes Street in Robinsonville.
All right. Now, I know I'm trying to get as much as I can get from you at this one-time broadcast, because we got Martin County here, and this broadcast reach all the way out there in Martin County. I know people seeing what's happening in Martin County. Let me ask you this. You also have a program called a No Excuse Healthy Living that you're working along with. Could you explain? I kind of know a little bit, so could you explain a little bit what the No Excuse Healthy Living Alliance? Because, see, you're not just giving food, but you're also educating them, and that's powerful. I mean, the Bible said, my people destroyed because of lack of what? Knowledge. So could you explain what the No Excuse Healthy Living that you're a part of? And I do know a little bit about it. So, but for them that's on the broadcast, looking at this broadcast, you explain to them what exactly is the No Excuse Healthy Living Alliance.
Sure. The No Excuse Healthy Alliance is where we have a group of people that come. We have a designated day, usually on Wednesday, the third Wednesday of the month, and we do special meals. We do weight. We do physical training. We'll do stretch bands. We do keep in mind that we do deal mostly with the seniors, so we have to be a little gentle with them. We may do some chair exercises, but mostly it's just trying to show people how to eat right, eat better, make better food choices.
And knowing a little bit about it, you're right on. I seen when you had the training, do the I just call it a SPAN Field Nutrition Program, which teaching them how to cook certain things, how to do exercise. I mean, just a simple using a ball to squeeze your,
That's right.
Is exercise and the chairs and how to lean on that with the DVDs, and also you kind of give where you have doing demonstration of food and how to prepare it food. And that's really good to know. And also I know that the North Carolina Council and Churches, for those who don't know, if you're part of this program, the No Excuse, you can get a part of that. They have their own website, but they could click on yours to get to it. on the website, where you might be a church that want to know more about healthy nutrition and get more involved with that. With the North Carolina Council of Churches is part of helping with even a certain type of seed funding to say, hey, if you're doing this, and it got to be a part of some kind of collaboration. And I know that over there in Robinsonville, y'all getting this all together with the nutrition, with the families and with the senior citizens. So I do applaud you, and the congregations is over there is helping with that.
Yes.
I also want to mention just a little bit about. They're gonna learn a lot about you, Ms. Brown, today. Amen. Somebody. You're also working with a organization out there, and I had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Danny and his wife Jackie, and the things they're doing, and hearing the stories of, and people don't know about this, and we really need to get him one day up here to talk about that. But for right now, I'm gonna let you speak about Danny. They have was it a packing? Could you explain a little? Is it a packing
Yes.
facility or something?
It's called the Robinsonville Packing Company, and what they do is they provide boxes of food to individual in the community. They have to pay for the box, but if you are a food stamp recipient, they will lower the cost for you to buy this box, to purchase the box, and you get it every month. And the box can consist of meat, vegetables, potatoes or sweet potatoes. Definitely a healthy box. And now with the collaboration with Churches Outreach Network, they'll be able to get sweets and bread and maybe some extra vegetables to go with those boxes.
Wow, and that's, I look at when I had the pleasure of meeting them, and for that box, so for those of you that say, well, I have food stamps, and the problem with food stamps, you go to these stores, and I mean, you can't really get everything. Meat's expensive. It really is. If you tell people, well, listen, I think for a vegetarian, it's easy for them. I eat a bunch of salad, that's fine, because the meat is the main thing that costs a lot of money. But I noticed in looking at their box of food, they had meats inside there, vegetables and things that you couldn't buy. For the price of the box they charge, that's for price for one piece of meat that you buy for everything in the box. So if you're a client saying, I'm trying to make my money stretch a little bit, and this is a program that they will actually come to you with the stuff that you already ordered, and you can, like a credit card thing, they swipe it and your EBT card, and but then they also offering, like I said, they're part of the Community Unity Network, which is a division of Churches Outreach, to be able to get bread and cakes and other things and extra vegetables. And also, you started a voucher program in your area, which you're working with DSS and other agencies that they're able to get this voucher, which should be able to help them on other food boxes. Could you talk about the voucher program a little bit?
Sure. Our voucher program, what we do is we'll put food together, same thing as Mr. Danny and Miss Jackie's doing. But our clients come from DSS. They're referred to us. The process with DSS is you don't get your food stamps right away. So what we do is we provide the client with emergency food box that will carry them maybe for a week. And then we have them sign up to our food pantry. And this way we could cover, the food that they won't get or till their food stamps come. So that program we're very excited about because we don't want people to wait till they get their food stamps and they won't be able to eat. So we try to provide that emergency food to cover them for that week.
Okay. I also wanted to mention, for those who didn't know, in Robinsonville, when Matthew came through, they didn't know how active you was in getting emergency food. You worked with other agencies and food bank agencies as well to get emergency boxes of food what people had a need for. And then that was such a blessing in seeing you, how you work with that in such an area. We do know that Interfaith Clergy standing for the community, we send some things towards you to help those families because Interfaith Clergy standing for the community is not just for Pitt County. It's for our community. in other areas that we see as pastors and clergy, we find there's a need. We just can't say, well, we just for Pitt County, we just a pastor. We here for all God's children. But we to talk about that emergency, how you worked a program with your board and getting things done over there. I do applaud you for doing that, the hard work that you and this Pastor Medina and Pastor David, and also your pastor, not Pastor Chan. What's your pastor name?
My pastor is Pastor Alton Atkins.
Okay. And you also have Pastor Black, who is such a strong advocate over that area.
That's correct.
And making things happen. So I do want to take the moment on national TV to say thank you
Yes.
for that service. Let me ask you a question. I know that we hear about the volunteers. Also, let me say this before I forget. I also want to thank you because now you even helped the Title V program. You allow senior citizens with the Title V program to get a job. Ain't that something? That work with you that they could get paid. So that's something else that they may need to talk to you, because I know if every organization that I'm a part of or know of, we all need help.
That's right.
We all need help. So that's one part. But as people looking at this broadcast right now, is there any way, if I want to volunteer my time, how do I volunteer? And maybe I got something to offer and don't know if there's even an opening. Do you have, if there's an opening to be on your board? Because sometimes people like to be more than just a volunteer. They say, well, how can I be more structure in what they're doing? Some people say they like to sow seed, but some people like to get more involved. So for a volunteer, first, one question at a time, how can I become a volunteer?
Okay, you can become a volunteer actually by calling me. We do try to meet once a month, but basically you just give me a call and we'll sit down and talk and see what you want to do. Sometimes we have drivers, we have warehouse, clerical staff. The jobs are endless. But you can also become a board member. Some people don't want to do any manual labor, but you could come and sit on our board where we make some good decisions and we put in our resources together and build the program up.
Also, I want to mention you're part of a program which started here in Greenville called Charity Tracker. And for those that don't know what Charity Tracker is, I will give it to you briefly. Charity Tracker is a way where you have all the resources all in one place and be able to help the client. So just in case someone from Pitt County went to Martin County or went to even Wilson, you know how you helping the clients. And then let's say hypothetical, if a client needed $100 and I was only gave him 50, and then I can pass them on. The other person can give him 25, and then the last person, I can give him the 25 on this bulletin, and that case been closed out. And it's called Charity Tracker, and have a lot of resource in there. And that's something that was being really built in this area here. But Martin County, and her agency is the only agency that is on Charity Tracker is getting a resource. It's nothing most worse when you need resource and you're all over the place. I don't know. Let me call this person. I'm going to call that person. But to have the resource, and it also does statistics, how many people you help and who you helping. So I want to commend you on that, on Charity Tracker that you have down in your neighborhood. But let me ask this question, because I know if I was a person, and the next question I'm about to ask you, I know that I would like to make sure you have some way of tracking customers, clients. I'm calling customers, clients that need help. If I want to make a monetary donation, I know volunteer is good. We need your labor too. But if I'm going to make a monetary donation, how would I be able to make a monetary donation? I see you on the broadcast right now. I may not be able to volunteer. I may not be able to be on your board. But I like to sow a seed. I like to sow a seed, maybe a one-time seed or maybe a monthly seed to help, and knowing that someone is actually helping people in this area, someone actually making sure we're taking care of the need and not the greed, because you got some people don't have no need for it. They come up there, it's like a job for them. They get up every day, free, we'll go ahead, free, I'm going there, free. And they just, they have more stuff in their house. It's like those coupon shoppers. They drive me crazy, those coupon shoppers. What in the world you have all that toilet tissue in your house for, all that soap? You're not going to use it. donate it. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that. That's really an illness. It's good to save money, but you got a bedroom full of this stuff. So, but the key is, if I want to make a donation, a monetary donation, I just can't do any of this. But how could we do this? How can we, and where do we send money at?
Okay. You can send monetary donations through the mail. Our name is Faith Community Outreach, and our mailing address is P.O. Box 965, Robinsonville, North Carolina, 27871.
Okay. So they could just send that donation. And now also, are you a, I done send you some money. I want to make sure that I get my credit with Uncle Sam. Now, are you a tax exempt? Are you a 501c3?
We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and you will be able to do a tax deduction.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you would like the audience to know, displaying to the camera, anything you'd like them to say as we come towards the closing?
Well, yes, I do. First, like to thank you, Pastor Coles, for taking our little organization in Robinsonville and seeing the vision that I had, and actually we're actually surpassing my vision right now at this point. But I just like to thank you for taking the time out to sit with me and see the vision and help the vision grow. I really do. I thank you for your patience, your wisdom, and your motivation, because you have definitely motivated and inspired me and others in Martin County.
Well, we thank you for that. To God be the glory.
Yes.
I'm just here on assignment. I believe service is the rent we pay for the air we take up on space on earth here. Amen. As we are closing out, I truly want to thank you for being on the broadcast. Please visit us at CUN 2015. God bless.